Hello, and welcome to Ad-lib Heroes. My name is Joey, and I'm a lifelong DM and writer. At our table today is...
Hi, I'm TJ, and I play Kirith Odell.
I'm Riley. I play Grimlock Seaspray.
Hi, I'm Bev, and I play Olivia Fortier.
Some quick announcements. Please be sure to rate us and review us if you like the show, and subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting app. Now let's begin the story. Our story takes place in the country of Tousenne, which has a land of green rolling hills. Wooden plaster homes form villages up and down the major roads, which are patrolled by young knights in glistening armor, hoping to prove their valor. However, stepping beyond these well-trodden arteries, one quickly finds the dark woods and forgotten places of Tousenne. 2 years ago, the war with the neighboring country to the west, Foreign, ended after 7 long years. Tousenne won, but now the levies and soldiers that were trained have returned home. They were expected to go back to their farms and villages and obey the local lords and ladies, who are ruling by force. This has led to an increase of mercenaries and bandits along the roadways. We'll be starting in the village of Grahlu. It is a roadside village of about 600 people that caters mostly to travelers. It is halfway between the capital of Grahlu and the trade town of Abulont. The main trade road is flanked by a wooden boardwalk of shops, taverns, and inns, hoping to extract a few coppers from those who are passing through. Near the north end of town is a low building with a hard-to-read sign, advertising the Red Smoke Inn. The common room is open and well ventilated, which is good due to the amount of tobacco smoke filling the place. Rux, the lizard folk's owner, sits behind a counter, carving pipes that are for sale. They are beautiful pieces of art, and he also sells a selection of tobacco. You can rent a leather hammock in a shared room for 15 copper a night, or rent out a room with 4 hammocks for 5 silver. So, we begin as Olivia Fortier and Kirith Odell have been traveling along the road from the capital city towards the town of Abulont and are stopping for the night in the Red Smoke Inn. Grimlock Seaspray is working his way through town right now and is doing various chores around the inn. So, as Olivia and Kirith approach, we should probably talk quickly about what your characters look like.
Sure. Olivia, I am dressed probably not the way most people would walk around in the street, except for my boots, which are sensible boots, but basically a corset dress. Her hair is strawberry blonde up in braids that lead to a messy bun. She's a full-figured girl of probably her young 20s, human. And yeah, she's standing next to...
Kirith is a tall and slim but wiry, taut-muscled elf with copper skin and matted and knotted black hair. He looks the mercenary type, except for most of his armor and clothing are tattered and almost brought to rags. Very, very well worn. His face and bare arms, you can see evidence of either disease, scars, illnesses, pockmarks around, as well as a fairly nasty scar over his left lip from someone's mean right hook.
All right, so the two of you walk into this inn and you see the lizard folk carving behind the main entrance to the inn. It is pretty full in here. There's only a couple tables available. And while it is one of the first roads off the inn, one of the first inns off the road, it is well known to be one of the best places to stay if you have often traveled between the capital and Abulont, because it has great prices and great foods, because there are a number of people who are uncomfortable staying in an establishment owned by a lizard folk. So, as you walk in and you see the lizard folk behind the counter carving, have you ever been here before, Olivia?
No, I have not.
Okay. So You see a lizard folk who has several ridges that are decorated with pieces of jewelry, several splashes of bright color of makeup, sitting there in a leathern apron, carving away at a piece of wood, forming it into the shape of a ship that smoke will come out the base of. He looks up and says, here for food, here for the night.
Gareth, he speaks common.
Yup. So do you. You can respond to that question.
But both, please.
So please sit. I will send someone, get your order, and we will get you hammocks later.
Is there a table by the window at all, potentially?
Yes, take window table. I think the smoke is good. I'm sorry. So after a moment, he goes into the back and grabs Grimlock. So what does Grimlock look like?
Grimlock has a mane of black hair and a long flowing beard, silver eyes. He's pretty pale for a dwarf. I always picture them as, like vaguely tanned, but he's pretty pale for a dwarf, and a lot more sinewy than you would expect of a common dwarf. And he's wearing loose mobile clothing with a apron, a greasy apron on the front.
Okay. So yeah, Rux comes up to you and says, hey, there is a human child and half-elf over at table by the window. See if they want spiced carrot and cabbage roll, bean and barley soup, or rabbit pie.
Sounds good. Do you know when we're getting, another employee?
Hopefully, Grahlu is back tomorrow.
Excellent. Okay, I'm on my way.
So you see this dwarf approaching the table looking very, very uncomfortable. On top of your clothes, I assume that you're wearing a grease-splattered apron from helping in the kitchen doing this work that you are not used to. For those of you who have worked in kitchens, that'll get you real dirty real quick. And so, yeah, you walk up to the table.
What was the menu? Sorry.
So, yeah, you walk up to the table and you look back at Rux.
Rux. What was I supposed to ask them?
Do they want spiced carrot and cabbage roll, bean and barley soup, or rabbit pie?
Do you guys want spiced carrot and cabbage roll, bean and barley soup, or
rabbit pie?
Rabbit pie.
I want rabbit pie. Rabbit? Rabbit. Rabbit? Rabbit.
I'm fine.
Which was it, rabbit or rabbit?
Rabbit, little hoppy, delicious. Catch it in your mouth.
Oh, yeah, the rabbit pie. I think it's toads or something.
Okay, yeah, that one. And yeah, Kirith doesn't like when I talk about him to strangers.
I'm fine.
He's fine.
I sit with my back to the wall and just staring at the front door.
A nice hot cup of dissociation for the lad.
No, I think he said he was fine.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you head back into the kitchen, give the order to a little halfling cook named Sarah, who is rushing around because again, you guys are currently understaffed and you have very little clue what you're doing. You end up receiving Olivia a flaky crust pastry top pie with well-cut rabbit with carrots and peas and potatoes in there. It is spicier than you expect. There's a lot of pepper in there, but not painful, just not bland like you would often get.
You sure you don't want to try this rabbit pie?
Digging into my trail rations. Yeah.
That is... You're eating just a cracker. No sauce, Just a dry cracker.
I've got some dry meat in here too.
Beef jerky and a cracker.
Fine like this.
So, just so you know, Kirith, I kind of have a bit of a plan here. I think maybe they'll give us free room and board if I do the thing. Oh, the playing, the music thing? Just watch my stuff, okay?
Sure.
Great.
You're paying the bills. Or your
I go
parents
over
are.
to the place where he's carving, I guess.
Yep.
Rux, was it?
Yes.
What would you say if someone could play the pipes to entice people to come and buy your pipes?
Are they good at the pipes?
Very good. I have it on great authority. Best pipe player in this room.
As your brother, I'm uncomfortable with that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm talking about the pan flute, obviously.
Okay, you can try.
Great. So I'll stand up on a table, not caring that I'm like kind of shuffling and kicking a couple of people's drinks aside and just say, patrons of the... Is it Red Smoke?
Red smoke.
Patrons of the Red Smoke Bar, your lives were boring until today. If you would like, you could buy a beautiful pipe from Rux over here while you listen to this amazing pan flute music.
All right, so roll me a performance check.
13 plus 5, 18.
18. So this to me strikes me as the scene out of a musical where you play the first couple of notes and you're kicking some people's drinks and they're not on your side. But as you go on and it gets jaunty and people are clapping along and jumping up and dancing and people are ordering more rounds of drinks, and you very quickly have Rux very, very happy as, again, people are spending more and more money and
Great.
getting excited. So you end up spending the next hour or two playing different songs.
And you very quickly have our waiter running off his feet.
Yeah.
By the end of the night, I'll know the three items on the menu.
Yeah. It goes over very well. And again, part of that is, do you have the entertainer background?
No, I
No.
have the sage background.
Okay, so it is not a class feature, so you aren't guaranteed for this to work then.
Right. I
Right.
didn't know that, but yes.
Oh yeah, if you have
It's always worked for Olivia, so she doesn't know the difference.
if you have the right background, then it doesn't even require a roll. You just always get it.
Oh.
But because you don't have it as the background feature, you can fail.
Luckily not today.
Mm-hmm. So as the night starts to wind down and there are less people coming in and people are starting to head to the rooms upstairs, Rux says, private room for you. It's okay.
Great.
So-
And the rabbit pie was on the house?
Yes.
Wonderful. Because I
and-
didn't pay your waiter for it. Or tip your waiter. I should maybe tip your waiter.
It's always good to tip your waiter.
Okay. Here, I give Rux 1 copper.
Okay. And so he says, so you want a bottle of wine or a mug of the amber?
No, this is a tip.
I know, but part of me pay you.
Oh. Gareth, what do you like to drink?
I look around the bar, look at the owner. I'm fine.
I think he said wine.
Wine.
He said wine.
The wine comes in a corked bottle. The amber comes out of a cask into a mug, into a jug.
Yeah, the wine.
So he brings you over a bottle of wine and he says, you have last room at the end of the hall upstairs.
Come on, Gareth.
All right.
So when you enter the room, the hammocks inside the room are complicated to what you're used to. There is a bunch of strings around a frame that are pulling a piece of leather, and at first it looks like it is probably going to be too taut, but as you sink into it, it forms perfectly to you, giving you just the support you need. It's almost like floating while you sleep, if you sleep.
Gareth, you gotta try one of these.
I walk over to the far side of the room from the door, sit down cross-legged, put my backpack on my lap, huddled together, and just...
Now,
yeah, I'm good.
Now that is your trait, so you receive inspiration as you refuse the amazingly comfortable bed. And part of the reality in my world is elves have the option to sleep, and half-elves have the option to sleep. It's just most of them will generally choose to trance.
And yeah, I get ready to just enter trance for a few hours and probably be up way, way, way before my charge.
I will go and place my backpack under his other arm that's not holding his backpack, and put my fancy necklace that I want to keep around his neck, and just hold these, keep them safe. Just my pan flute under his one thigh, use him like a human locker.
Yeah. So meanwhile, downstairs, as the night starts to come to a close, Rux comes into the kitchen and says, so when you finish that round of dishes, what do you want to eat? The spiced carrot and cabbage roll, bean barley soup, or rabbit pie?
I'll take the leftovers of the bean and barley, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, have as much as you want. There's some biscuits that are still a little warm, I think.
Perfect. You don't mind if I polish it off, eh?
No, it's you did good work tonight. It was very busy.
Oh, yeah. I remembered at least 2 of the 3 things.
Mm-hmm. Which ones?
Bean and barley, I think?
That's the same thing.
Not by my account.
Oh, okay. So you've got one of these comfortable hammocks that that Rux makes himself that is in the main common room. So not one of the private rooms, but that's part of what you get paid for working there. And
hanging over a table?
Well, I see them as on stands on the floor, those kind of wicker chairs with the big round basket that sits in them.
Yeah, the turtle chairs.
Yeah, the turtle chairs. So these hammocks are, to my mind, like those.
Excellent.
And he comes over and he says, yeah, you did good work this week. And he hands you 3 silver.
Sensei always said, tip your servers.
Yeah, I said that too earlier.
That's why I thought of it. For the personality trait, the sensei thing.
Oh, yeah. Because your personality trait is you quote your sensei, you can take the inspiration for it.
Okay, cool. I'll just track that independently.
Yeah, so inspiration is a yes or no. Okay. You have inspiration or you don't. Even if you would do more than one thing that would generate inspiration, you can only basically carry one inspiration at a time.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So, in the morning, a little after dawn, I assume that Kareth is already awake. I don't know if Olivier or Grimlock are, or Livia or Grimlock, my apologies.
I'd be up at dawn, just training before my shift starts.
Okay. So, you start hearing a voice from the edge of town, because this inn is near the north edge of town. Someone is running out of breath, but screaming, "Orcs! Orcs!"
I'll go to the front door of the inn and peer out, but I'm not running to go help them.
Right.
I would run to go help him.
So there is a dirty farmhand in his late teens. He comes running towards town, and his arm is bleeding.
I would like to check out his arm.
Okay. So that would be a medicine check.
Yes, sir. 14.
14. So he has a bad gash in it that looks like it comes from a very heavy blade, but the sort of blade that is less sharp and more has a lot of weight behind it.
Okay.
So you start bandaging the arm, and he says, Orcs attacked my family's farm. We need help.
Which way is it to your farm?
So he points towards the northwest, and he says, "My brother Rock was very badly injured. We're gonna need some help. I'm here to get Lisette, the doctor."
Okay. I would start heading back to the inn. Start raising a ruckus, trying to find people.
Sure. Okay, so yeah, you start trying to get people up. You're hearing a lot of noise downstairs, Olivia.
I turn over in my hammock and fall out of it into all of the strings.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also start yelling, "Help! Help! Help! Help!"
Kareth, what do you do?
I see the dwarf now running down the street. I'm like, okay, he's got that handled. I guess I'll... Oh my god, what's going on?
I'm in dire danger!
I kind of slowly walk back, curmudgeoningly.
Mhm.
And
You're screaming the whole time, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe in you. You can figure this out.
I have gotten more stuck somehow. I've got one leg up by my chin and one arm behind my back, and I'm still cat's cradling even deeper into this string mess.
There is one rope. How are you doing this?
Kirith, you have to help me.
I'm here to make sure you don't get hurt.
I'm
This
about
seems-
to die.
This seems like the safest place for you at the moment. You're not going to hurt yourself.
What if those orcs that I heard that guy yelling about come here right now?
Yeah, that's true. You can't run away like that. Nah, they probably won't make it. That dwarf looked tough. I'm kidding.
Are you still wearing my necklace?
No, I piled all your stuff under your hammock when I left.
Oh.
so yeah, you eventually get free, and
Okay. I just need 20 minutes to get... Okay, nope. I will just throw this on. Okay.
Why do you...
It takes 20 minutes to look like this. Okay, well, I mean,
It's
not
not
like
worth it.
this. You really hurt me just now. Really? You don't care. It's no fun if you don't care. Fine, let's go find this dwarf guy.
Okay.
So, meanwhile, Grimlock, as you've been running down the streets, there is a half-elf with a big potbelly that you know to be Isaac, the mayor of this town. And he looks at you and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Isaac, ring the bell. They got there's trouble to the northwest. Orcs are raiding a farm.
Kender, ring the bell, he yells at a nearby child who runs off to go start ringing the bell. He's like, we'll have to get the militia together. So he take me to whoever gave us the warning.
He went off to the doctor.
Okay. So you guys head away from the boardwalk that is the kind of visitor part of town, back a little ways, and you find the doctor by the white and red barber's spindle, which was traditionally used to show that this is where they did things like bloodletting and other healing. Because this world that we're playing in, magic is not overly common, and most towns do not have a priest capable of casting healing magic. So a lot of the healing is conventional. So inside is a woman in her mid-60s, very athletic for her age. Her hair is pulled tightly back away from her face, and she is going over your work on the boy's arm. And as Isaac comes in, he's like, Gerard, I hear there were orcs at your farm? The farmhand turns and goes, yeah, my brother was badly hurt. We need to get out there. And the mayor says, well, we'll get the militia together, but it'll take a little time before we have enough people. And the farmhand says to him, we need to get someone out there quicker. And Lisette says, I'm willing to go, but if there's orcs there, I might need some additional protection.
I'll go with you 100%.
Okay, she says. You're the kitchen hand at Red Smoke?
Yeah, I think I got promoted to server, maybe. I didn't really want that, though. Maybe I can be a militia now. I don't know.
I can be a militia.
But what if we run into orcs? We might need someone who knows how to fight?
I'm sure we'll find, like, another cook on the way there or something.
You know orcs aren't made of bacon, right?
They are made of meat.
I hadn't considered it, but I guess that's probably true.
So she starts heading with you and the farmhand, who is now got his arm in a sling, and they're heading kind of back towards the north end of town, and the mayor is looking around, and he's sending various people he sees off to go grab someone who might be able to help. So back at the inn, where are Olivia and Kirith?
I would probably still just be watching things going on from the front door, waiting for her to get ready.
Yeah, I'll try to be very quick, and then I'll get downstairs to harry Kirith a little more. It's really not okay to say to a woman in any situation, or really any person, to comment on their appearance as, are we going out there? Why are you just standing here?
Are we going out there?
I thought we were going to see the orc thing. Aren't you like a roving adventurer, roguish, daring?
My job is to keep you safe until you get home.
Yeah, so whatever I do between now and then, I just try to push past him. I'm very weak, but I try to push past him.
Outside, you hear a voice go, I'm looking for some mercenaries who'd be willing to escort the doctor out to the site of the attack. I'd be willing to pay 2 gold a head.
You may have my sword, I fumble as I try to pull my rapier, which has barely been unsheathed ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's money. That's real money.
Still has the tag on it.
That's literally all it takes. I thought we were friends, man.
I've known you for 2 days.
Yeah. I thought we were friends. It's all about the money for you. That's fine. I also could use 2 gold. I mean, I totally have all the money to pay you.
Yeah, I don't love the way you said that, but whatever. Yeah, 2 gold. That's big boy money. Let's go.
So as you guys are heading out, because this is a game of D&D, you are the 3 people who volunteer to escort the doctor out to the site of the attack. And the mayor hands her the 6 gold to pay you when you get there. So as you leave the town of Grahlu, you start heading through the well-farmed areas. There are fences marking the farms of the various farmers, but they are more boundary markers than defensive. It looks like most of the other farmers have hunkered down as the boy ran past them. Well, boy in his late teens, but they did not come out. They hid and hunkered down. You head through and you walk for about a little over an hour. Up ahead, you see the last farm before the trees start to rise and you are at the edge of the woods. The farmhouse has a waist-high stone wall marking its boundaries. The house itself is a blocky 2-story affair with solid wooden shutters closed tight. A woman in her 40s sits on the roof with a short bow, staring out to the east. There are rows of vegetables sprouting from the ground, mostly undisturbed. However, there is a pig pen behind the house that has had its fences smashed, and the pen itself is a smoldering frame, still smoking.
I just start softly singing to myself
Mm-hmm.
because of my anxiety. Just, we will rock you. Boom, boom. We will rock you.
One of the Queen's hymns.
Yes.
I'll, Mama, you right up there?
So the woman turns around and she looks down and she's like, oh, and then she pauses for a moment and she's like, Gerard, we thought you were dead. Get in the house right now. And the boy kind of hangs his head and rushes forward and he's mumbling to himself, I brought the doctor for Rock. And the woman kind of starts climbing towards the window and she's like, I'll be right down. She heads through the house and comes out and says, thank you so much for coming. Lisette, if you want to go see Rock inside. And she's shaking your hands and you're like, I'm sorry, I'm Karine Aubert. Thank you for helping.
Oh, of course, anytime, ma'am. We are very brave adventurers.
Yeah, we were attacked in the middle of the night, so I'm fortunately only Rock was hurt badly, and now that Lisette is here, I hope he'll be all right.
Do you know where they headed off to?
Yeah, they came. So there was a group of them, and they were pulling this big long wagon. They started smashing their way through the pig pen, and they were slaughtering the animals and throwing the bodies onto the wagon. Rock went out to see what the noise was, and one of them chased him to the house and hit him in the back with a huge axe as he fell through the door. We managed to get it closed, and we did what we could from the roof, but we couldn't stop them, and I don't think any of the pigs survived.
Do you think Dr. Lisette will be able to help Rock?
I mean, he's got a fever, but he's breathing, and
can I come in?
Yes, of course. And she opens the door and brings you inside. There's probably about 4 or 5 more people inside. Most of them are carrying farm implements, kind of like weapons, watching the doors through barely open shutters, staring to the east. She points down the hall and she's like, Rock's sleeping in there.
I'll head down towards the doctor.
Okay. So she has the boy in his early 20s on the bed. He's laying face down, and she is examining the large gash in his back.
Can I attempt to help her along, or is she just kind of way better than me at that?
So she has a +8 on her medicine roll. You can give her the aid action, which means that she would roll with advantage.
Excellent. I'll do that.
I feel like Olivia had a plan, though.
Player question.
Yes.
Just willy-nilly doing magic in front of people. Bad idea? Good idea?
It will scare some people. However, if you were in this situation,
Great.
do you think that your reaction would be?
Worried if people are going to be scared of it.
Yeah. I'll just put my hand on Dr. Lisette's shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a song that I think could help.
Oh, all right. She seems very confused.
I need. Can you back up so that I can play it for him?
Sure, she says, and she's now got a suspicious eye on you.
So I'll pull out my pan flutes and I'll just start playing a soft melody and kind of almost like Reiki, like not touching the body, moving my hands over where the wounds are and trying to make it flow properly, and I will use one of my first level spell slots and cure wounds on the child, on the guy.
yeah.
It's a D8.
That's, I believe, your
3.
spellcaster modifier.
I rolled max, so he heals 11 points.
So he had 5 hit points as a commoner.
Right.
So
Good.
you are playing over the wound, and what color is your magic energy when you're healing?
When I'm healing, my magic energy is like a lilac,
Okay.
purpley color.
So that color starts flowing over the wound, and it almost seems to be pulling it closed. By the time you finished, there's not a scar there. It is the cleanest part of his back. You can still see the dirt and some of the old blood, but he sits up with a smile, and the doctor's like, okay, so here's, and she like pulls open the purse and she hands you your 2 gold and hands you your 2 gold.
I'll give the doctor a hearty smack on the back, and
It's a good thing I came out here.
we have a cheater over here, I guess.
I kind of perk up at watching that, like realizing that she is also a magician.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little trick my mom used to teach me. Made me feel better. So, anyways, we don't need to talk to anyone else about this. You did a really good job, Dr. Lizette.
Yeah, thank you. If you ever want to practice that song again, please stop by my office.
Do you have someone in dire need at this moment?
No, but
Oh, okay.
there's, sooner or later I could always find someone who would love to hear that song.
Well, I think we probably still should deal with, even though I know, Kirith, we just got paid, but we should probably still investigate these orcs. Because they could just come back here and do it again.
They could.
Sorry, we probably shouldn't speak in the newly recovered boy's room. Man, child, teen. Excuse us.
He's about your age.
Excuse us. We adults have some adventuring talk to do. Let us exit.
So this house has a long hallway with several bedrooms for farmhands and multiple generations of the family. And then there is a bigger common room / kitchen. And most of them are currently in that common room / kitchen. Karine, the woman who was on the roof, currently has a kettle over the fire.
I just kind of pull you, and I don't care if Grimlock also listens, but I'm like, we might need to start getting out of here because people sometimes freak out a bit when I do stuff like that. So
Yeah.
As Rock is coming down the hall, and
like just not being here when they all see him might be better for us.
I think we can trust the doctor to vouch for you.
Cool.
so yeah, when Rock comes out and he's like, hey, Karine rushes over and wraps her arm around him and says, oh, thank God you're all right. And she goes to the doctor and she says, thank you so much. And Lisette goes, yes, I'm very, very good at my job.
She's so great. She's so good.
It was amazing watching you work.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So yeah, the doctor is very happy she doesn't ever seem very happy, but she has no problem taking credit for your work after you asked her to.
Yeah, but I'm still kind of mad about it because I'm a complex human.
Mm-hmm.
Or just a brat, but remains to be seen. Let's go kill some orcs.
Wait, what?
I want to kill some orcs.
But they left.
Okay, there's 3 of us here in this militia. Let's make it democratic. Grimlock,
But I'm not.
part of this militia?
No, I am the militia. I don't know who you guys are.
We are also part of the militia. This democratic militia.
Okay.
Okay,
This is the strangest conversation I've ever heard.
all those who wish to go orc hunting, say aye. Aye.
I also want to do that, but
The way you vote, Grimlock, is you say aye.
I?
She's just kind of like this.
Yeah, I noticed.
So 2 of us want to go. Maybe they'll give us more money for doing extra good.
This better not turn into a habit.
I promise I will never force you to do anything ever again.
I mean, what am I going to do? Club you over the head and drag you away?
I mean, you could try. But I don't think my parents would be too happy if I have a big lump on my head.
Probably would be pretty happy that I stopped you from going to run into an orc tribe.
You haven't met my mom.
That's true. All right. Figure out how much money it's worth and I'm in.
Okay, so I guess we'll take an hour's walk back to town to ask a guy for money, then an hour's walk back out here, or we could just do it and then hope.
Roll me a quick insight check, Kareth.
Oh, I'm good at that. 16.
The mayor was very, very quick to offer money to help. You don't think that you would even need to make a deal with him beforehand.
All right, we show up with some orc ears. He'll probably pay us.
Ew.
How else are you going to prove that we actually killed some orcs and didn't just walk off for 3 hours and come back?
Okay, good point, but I just didn't think the plan all the way through.
I just remembered the mayor actually offered, I think it was 2 gold per orc ear. I don't think that
he said 2 gold per head, as in the number of heads coming out here to the farm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Do we
Yes,
have
he
to
did
cut
not
off
put
our
a
ears?
bounty on orcs.
I'm sure he doesn't love them
Mm-hmm.
right on the
Probably
border
not.
of his town. I mean, they might just be hungry, so we should maybe check that out, but
I mean, even
Orcs?
if
Well, a reminder of one of the things that is different of orcs in this world. There are no longer naturally born orcs. About 2,000 years ago, the orcs that lived in this world decided that they were no longer satisfied with Grummish, their god, and they forsook him in general. Half-orcs are generally chaotic good. They are the descendants of the people who were once orcs, but they are very independent. They tend to have a very Grecian city-state inspired culture, and they expect a fair deal with their gods. So they are very transactional in religion. They will make a sacrifice if a god will deliver, and if they, for example, sacrifice a cow to a god and the god doesn't deliver, that god will never see another sacrifice from that half-orc. Any orc you find is a cultist who has dedicated themselves to Grummish, the orcish god of war, and has undergone rituals to mystically transform into this race that no longer naturally exists.
right. As I remember that, I say, hungry for evil, which must be stopped in this world.
I don't think that the livestock was particularly motivated to do any evil.
No, they eating the innocent livestock is the evil act.
Plus,
the
these pigs gave to charity a lot.
So,
Lead on.
perfect. I look at the ground and with my 0 nature score discern
You need me to
people-
follow the tracks, don't you?
walked around here.
So you head out to the pig pen. In the mud, there are the heads of several of the pigs that were beheaded, but you aren't finding any of the bodies. There are deep ruts through the mud in the field, about 8 feet apart. There is this one big, heavy wagon. As you're looking at it, even with no survival skill, you can tell that there are no draft animals pulling it. The footprints in front of the wagon are all booted. So it looks like the orcs pulled the wagon themselves.
Easy enough to follow.
Yes, they either went this way or that way. I point in the 2 different directions.
Back at the pen.
Yeah, back at the pen.
They
or
either
out.
came to the pen and then began to fly,
Yep.
Are we not going to address how they got a donkey to wear a set of boots?
Grimlock, you're making my day even better.
You ever hear something so dumb your brain just kind of turns off for a second?
No, I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So, you begin to follow the tracks out into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever is leading the way through the woods, I would like a quick survival check, please.
I don't like the forest.
Oh, you sing when you're scared too?
Sure. 12.
12. So, as you begin to follow the tracks, when you reach the edge of the farm, you see that part of the wall marking the borders was smashed down. As you head into the woods, again, with this wagon that is probably about 7 feet wide, they do not leave a hard-to-follow path. As you head through, the trees start to creep in, dark and heavy, reaching out with bare branch fingers over the space below. You are heading through a long, narrow tunnel in the forest. And Kirith,
All good.
Kirith, you stop the group as you start hearing snarling up ahead over the next rise.
I put my finger to my lips looking at the others in a show of wanting them to be quiet. I'm just checking what my one racial ability does, if it lets me hide multiple people in the forest or just myself.
I am pretty sure it is only you.
Okay. Probably. I can't find it now. Oh no. Yeah. That's just me. I whispering, there's something just over this next rise. I suggest stay low, stay hidden, go take a look.
Well,
Stay lower, I say to Grimlock.
I could also, one person could go, and I take my pointer finger, which has a copper wire wrapped around it, and I point at him, and I use the cantrip message, and I say, I can talk to you in your mind. You can reply to this.
Don't fucking do that.
Well, but this way, I could ask you what's up using this, and then you can reply to me.
Great, do it to him.
Okay, well, but if you're the sneaky one who's going to sneak up there, might have to happen to you.
Okay.
If you're way too uncomfortable with it, it's okay, but
Do you want me to take a peek?
we'll just message him then.
How capable are you?
I'm not the sneakiest, but, I don't have to hunker down so much.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay,
If I
just
don't
so
have
you
to
know.
be the first one they see, that's great.
I point at Grimlock. This is what it sounds like when I cast at you. When I send my message, you can reply.
Like, with my thoughts.
I believe with message you need to whisper, so it's
to
like
whisper.
you've got a subvocal mic.
So you
okay.
stare at me for a bit. No, you have to say it.
Okay.
You don't have
Over.
to make the sound.
What do you mean?
Oh, okay. Anyways, I'll ask you in a couple minutes what's going on.
Okay. Keep an eye out for the signal.
Oh,
Which is putting your heads over the putting
Hands
your
over.
hands over your head and waving wildly.
Exactly.
great.
All right, so you want to sneak to the top of the hill?
Yes, I would.
Roll me a stealth check, please.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
All right.
To roll a
Can I use that retroactively?
Yes, you can, as long as you don't have disadvantage on the roll to begin with.
So that was worse.
Yep.
So you get to take the better of the two.
I got a 5.
5. So you reach the top of the hill and you stand fully up as you look down. There are a pair of wolves that are fighting over a large bone that was lying in the middle of the road. They were struggling with each other, but when they see you, they turn and they start snarling at you, their fangs bared, glaring at you.
I'm gonna about face and
Give the signal.
Do we see him?
Yeah, everyone sees him. He had a 5 on stealth.
wave my arms like an inflatable guy on the side of the road.
Okay. I will begin to move to the top of the hill.
Yes, I will also join. I think he needs our help.
Okay, so you join him at the top of the hill. And again, the wolves are snarling. Your survival check beat the DC. So the wolves are protecting the food they have. And that is their main interest. So the fact that you are 80 feet away from them, they are warning you off. But they are, unless you force it, the wolves are okay if you just leave them alone.
Yeah, I'll kind of peer down and survey the situation and relay that information. They have food. They don't want us to take the food. They're not so hungry they want to eat us. So we'll just take the long way around and find the tracks on the other side of them.
Okay.
Sounds good. Does the meat in their mouths look like one of the farm animals that had been taken?
You can roll me a nature check, which I believe is off of intelligence.
Also a 5.
It is very difficult to tell the difference between a pig bone and a human bone.
There's some meat over there. Can you tell the difference between the
Nah,
No. Okay.
No, because I won't.
that is a bone from 80 feet away.
That's fair. What do your elven eyes see?
That's racist.
You called me short like 5 minutes ago.
So? Aren't you just some short guy?
Yeah.
While these two are bickering, I would like to just listen to the snarling and try to add their sounds to my repertoire of sounds.
Okay.
I have the feat actor, which
Okay.
means that I can mimic people that I've heard or animals that I've heard.
Okay.
Cool.
So you practice your wolf snarls. How method of an actor are you?
Oh my god.
What if I have to play a wolf in a play?
You're right.
Hugger. I'm working. It's new. Let's go around.
Okay. Good call.
Okay. So it probably takes about 10 minutes to circle around through the thick trees and the heavy undergrowth. But then you find your way back to the path the wagon was taking. You follow it for probably another 45 minutes, and then it opens up into a dry riverbed. So the white stones that the river had washed clean are laying there. There is a narrow little trickle heading down. The wagon has headed both ways up this river bank. So it would take another survival roll to figure out whether it headed more to the north or more to the south.
What's the more recent?
Yes.
Okay. I can roll survival. 24.
24, you are very certain it headed north.
Okay. Yeah, the tracks to the south are drier, older. These are... They definitely went north like this morning.
That's some magic.
And then you start to hear a distant singing from the south.
Who's are back in Whoville? Do I recognize the song?
No, it is not familiar to you. It seems to be rather improvised.
To the south, but you think they went to the north.
The wagon went to the north far more recently.
The singing is happening right now.
Doesn't sound like orcs. I thought we were out here for orcs.
I mean, I'm interested in what that is too.
Would I be able to tell if it's like a hymn of some sort? Does it sound...
So you can roll me a religion check.
Another 5.
Another
Nice.
5? Yeah, you're entirely uncertain.
Look, we're out in the middle of the woods, unfamiliar territory. Nature is damn scary. Probably not a great idea.
I mean, name 2 stories where following a singing and enticing voice has ended poorly. Okay, name 4. Name. Oh.
You look like a sailor.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. We will ignore the singing voice.
Clearly very close. Like, I'm not going to stop you. But
Okay, let's go look at it.
I'm just going to be annoyed.
Okay.
So you want to head to the south towards the
I
singing
follow
voice?
the singing voice.
I believe that might be your flaw. I am
Oh.
easily distracted by...
New information?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
May also be a personal flaw.
Yeah, so that gives you inspiration.
Advantage 1 die. Cool. I have added it.
All right, so you follow the road to the south. After you've walked for about 10 minutes, the singing stops. And then you hear a voice say, "Halt! Who goes there?"
It is I, the talent scout of the forest. I don't know what's going on. I heard your voice and found it quite alluring.
So you hear a flapping, and then a giant owl lands in the middle of the riverbed. And when I say giant, I mean about the size of a large dog. And on its back, there is a tiny figure with a bright mohawk that is red. And they are carrying a lance and wearing leather armor. And the figure jumps off the owl and says, "Is this an orc trick?"
No, we are orc hunters. We hunt orcs.
Good. They shouldn't be coming down the river this way. I've got enough trouble with the bitter butter goblins.
I assure you, we are here only to help. May I ask your name?
I'm Cherry Boots. And you are?
My name is Olivia Fortier, soon to be famous singer here in Tousenne.
I'm the guardian of the entrance to the Feywild.
Oh, that's right. Okay. We do not wish to enter the Feywild, I don't think, at this moment. We just want to solve your orc problem.
Good.
In return, could I potentially get a feather from your owl?
So she gets off the owl and she goes and she holds its head in both her hand and she starts chirping at it and it chirps back and she says, "Reginald agrees."
Great. Reginald. Full Reginald. Sorry, Reginald.
And
Reginald.
the owl reaches down and puts its beak to its chest and pulls out a feather and hops forward and drops it in your hands.
My life has never been better. I'm writing owl feather in my inventory.
I am just flabbergasted by this entire interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Just rubbing my temples with my left hand. Do you know how far north along the river the orcs are?
Yes, they're in the old castle up there.
Oh, good. Do you know how many of them?
Probably about 40.
Are they there for any reason in particular?
Probably because it's a good place to rest between raids. They got there about a week and a half ago.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. You don't have any else that we can fly around on, hey?
You are too big for even Reginald.
Darn.
Listen, if you want, I can see what's going on there for you.
That would be a great help.
Yes.
Do you have any saltwater taffy?
Not currently.
How much saltwater taffy would you be willing to bring me?
I don't even know what that is.
Grimlock, you've been in this town. Is there anyone who makes candy or sweet treats?
I mean, I could just commandeer the kitchen and give it a shot.
Oh, okay.
Do I know of any there's a specific word for someone who makes candy. I can't think of it now.
Confectionery?
Are there any confectionaries in the town?
Not in Grahlu, no.
Okay.
And you usually have to go all the way to Valence, which is past Aboulant, to get saltwater taffy.
Oh, okay. I can't promise that we're going to make it all the way out there. I can promise that I will give it a shot.
She's looking at you and considering it and goes, I'll make you a deal. If you swear to me by your name that you will do your best to bring me 1/8 of a pound of saltwater taffy within a year, I'll go check on the orcs for you.
I will sign a blood pact to that.
I don't want any blood. I just want you to swear on your name.
I have like some jam too, if that's a little.
Ooh, how much?
There we go. Small jar.
So she looks at that and she says, 1/3 of the jar and I'll do it.
Perfect. Start scraping it into her hands.
Yeah. Well, and she goes to the owl and you see that hidden in its feathers, there's a saddle. She pulls out a sack and holds it open.
Jam in a sack.
Jam in a sack. My jam sack.
The Fae are weird.
Mm-hmm. So after she's got her sack of jam, she jumps back on Reginald and she flies off. She returns about half an hour later and she says, most of the real orcs are gone. They're taking their wagon to the south, but they're cutting a new path. There's only maybe 3 or 4 of the full orcs and then a couple wannabes in the castle.
Oh, we can deal with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to become orcs. They've been trying to prove to the orcs that they should be some.
Men and dwarves that haven't undertaken the procedures yet.
Should probably stop them before they get the chance.
Why would you? Never mind.
Because they suck.
Yeah, I would rather be a fae than I would be. But you can't become one. I know.
Well, not at your age.
I'll bring you. I'm going to get some saltwater taffy, and I'm coming back here.
Okay.
Okay, great.
I
Not
look
really-
forward to
Yeah,
it.
That's not a threat.
I wasn't. Is this a threatening voice? I rarely threaten people.
Yeah,
Am I? Oh,
you're doing the threaten voice.
oh, that's how I talk to children. Maybe that's why I'm not good with children.
Could be the volume.
I don't know, children are fickle,
This is also true.
kind of like the Fae.
Piss her off, dude.
No, he's right.
And I got Fae blood, like, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much.
Mhm.
I hope we meet again very soon.
I mean,
keep
it's my
singing.
charge to stay here and stop the bitter butter goblins.
Yeah, I want to know more about that too later.
Oh,
Yeah.
they sneak out to make people's butter bad.
They sneak out like they're from the Feywild?
Yeah,
And you got to keep them in.
I gotta keep them in. They're not supposed to come here and ruin butter.
Okay, their name is literal. Yep. Yeah, of course. Of course. Why did I expect anything else from the Fae?
And then there's a bunch of farmers around here who leave out cream and honey for me if I'll keep the bitter butter goblins away from them.
This is a great town.
Can we go?
She does a pretty good Carrot. Let's go potentially kill some things. Will that make you feel better?
No, I don't like fighting.
What is it that you do like?
Bitter butter?
Go hang out with some goblins.
I'll kill you.
Okay, we're pissing her off. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you. Goodbye. You're a great singer.
Let's go risk our lives for some farmers that we don't even know.
Or maybe for some gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one seems like more of a petty thing?
You can't survive on that sack of bark and pennies that you've been eating out of forever. You can at least take the meat.
I think he calls your good berries pennies.
I think he's talking about my trail rations.
Ah.
So you guys start heading the other way up the river. And eventually you can see, squatting on the hill, a ruin of an old castle that the courtyard has a large tree growing out of. And it's hard to see the castle for the trees around it. The squat gray stones are oozing moss between the cracks of them. And you can see that there are a couple of large figures sitting near the entrance to the courtyard. They're wearing leather armor and carrying heavy axes. They are quite big, but they don't look as big as you've heard orcs are. Orcs are generally over 6.5 feet tall, and these people are maybe 6 feet.
Okay. I'm going to start whispering even though we're hundreds of feet away. What's the plan?
2 of them in the courtyard. We don't know how many. Is there only the one entrance?
Yeah,
That we-
there only appears to be one entrance, but you aren't 100% sure.
Mm-hmm.
You also see, as you're surveying it, that there is one tower still standing in the castle, and there is a flickering light coming out of the tower, like a torch is in there, even though the sun is just beginning to set.
We could take a look around, see if there's any other entrances we can find. However, that would have to be pretty sneaky, as we might alert some others, but we do know that there's only a small number of them. We can probably take these guys by surprise.
So we should start by sneaking up and go with what happens. If we don't get spotted, just keep looking for an entrance, and if we do get spotted, then we fight.
I don't know, I'm not great at planning.
As you can see, I am a master of plans and tactics and following through, not going on a whim.
Might be able to draw them from their post by pretending to be lost.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good plan.
Not a bad call.
Anyone a good actor? You seem like a good actor.
Hey,
You seem like the tough sort. If they charge you, you could probably take care of yourself.
Hopefully. That's the idea.
You
At
don't need
least.
to be a great actor. Like, they're orcs or orc wannabes. They're gonna probably attack whatever they see.
That's fair.
so are we going to first try sneaking around, or are we going to just straight up go and try to pull these guys out?
I think
Could do a combination of the two.
that our best bet is a couple of us find a hiding place and one of us draws them out.
Okay.
I can be the bait. If they get a hit on me, I'm less likely to die from a single hit.
Yeah, you look tough.
Okay. So let's go find a place to hide.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can hide in the woods probably about 80 feet from the base of the castle, away from the gate. And any closer there, it would be much more difficult to hide. So if you're hiding by the entrance of the woods, by the end of the woods, you would make your stealth check with advantage.
That first rolls a 2 on the dice, then a 12 on the dice. So I'll take the 12 plus 4 stealth, so 16 stealth for me.
I will try to hide closer. Even with light foliage, I can still hide due to Mask of the Wild.
Okay, so you still get advantage even going closer.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to be within like 60, 65 feet.
Okay.
I rolled a 1 and a 2, so my stealth is 5.
Okay. So you start crunching through the woods.
I cast message and whisper to Kirith. I can hear your boots.
And you hear from up above, "Hey, who goes there?"
I turn around, and if he hasn't started walking out yet, just guess I'm the bait.
I shrink.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can make your stealth check now.
Also with advantage because
Yes.
you're back with her.
9.
9. Okay. So, you can see that each of them is getting a javelin ready.
I wish to bear witness to the greatness of Grumsh.
Oh. Roll me a deception check.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Grimlock, I don't know what he's saying.
10.
10? How'd you know to come here?
Your tracks weren't hard to follow. I heard word of your glorious raid on the farms to the southeast.
So they kind of look at each other for a moment. And I just need to check something quickly here in my notes, because they know names that I don't remember.
Okay.
So they whisper to each other for a second, and one of them says, "We could take him to Wumkug." And then the other one says, "Hey, are you alone?" And he's staring right at Grimlock.
To my knowledge.
So they start heading down with their javelins ready.
Got some fresh baked bread for sale.
You just come wandering out of the forest as well?
So they look at each other and they're like, "Ah, yes. Show us your bread wares, merchant. We will pay you money for your bread."
Reach into the backpack and reveal a pretty stale loaf of bread with like bite marks out of it.
Okay. So they are coming close to examine the bread.
Are they walking past me?
They're walking close to you. They've got their axes ready.
Okay.
They
I'll
are.
step to the side.
Okay. So we are using cards for initiative because it makes my life a little easier than trying to remember what you all pulled.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are lying about wanting to see your wares and pay you money for it.
That sounds right.
Unbelievable.
So everyone pull a card for initiative. You don't have to pull from the top. You can pull anywhere from the deck.
I was about to ask.
I got a 9.
9 of hearts.
So then it comes down to your initiative modifiers.
1.
2.
Yeah.
Okay. So the orcs are trying to get as close to you as they possibly can to attack you. So do you let them come right up to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're getting close. They've got their axes ready. And when they get close enough to look at the bread, so within 5 feet of you. They start raising their axes, and it is your turn, Grimlock.
Okay. I would like to get get one of them in between me and the other guy.
Okay.
So take a little sidestep.
Yeah.
And take a couple of shots at that guy.
Okay. So you're just using your bare hands, starting to pummel into his torso.
Mm-hmm. Just 2 quick ones to the ribs.
Okay, so roll your first attack.
11.
11. So you go to hit him, and your fist scratches along the tough leather armor that he's wearing, or the tough hide armor he's wearing, sorry.
Okay. And I get a second one.
As a bonus action.
Yes, sir. Ooh, there you go.
Natural 20.
And 20, so
Ba, ba, ba.
20.
So that means you
Four.
roll the damage dice twice, but only add the modifier once for your damage.
Cool. So 7.
7. Okay.
Nice.
So you scrape with one, and he's kind of laughing, and then the other one you deliver a powerful blow right to his solar plex, and he doubles over and coughs a little bit. And then it is your turn.
It's me.
Yes.
Does it look
Here.
like that guy is down?
He is not down.
'Kay.
He is hurt, but he will.
Okay, I will rush him, drawing my longsword,
Okay.
and take a swing.
Okay.
22.
You slash deeply into him. Roll your damage.
Well, let's see how deep. 3. I rolled a 1.
Okay. So he looks at you with shock and surprise and betrayal in his eyes,
Wow,
But-
you believe that?
but he is not down. Yeah, they do not have a strong insight check.
'Kay.
So the one that is looking at you with betrayal tries to hit you
'Kay.
with his great axe, raises it high over his head, and has a 21 to hit,
Oh, yeah.
doing 14 damage.
Cool.
So I assume that drops you down to 0 as a level 1 character.
Yes.
All right. The other one circles around his friend to try and swing at you, and has a 12 to hit.
12 matches.
12 matches. So
No,
you
no,
have
it doesn't. Sorry,
your
14.
dexterity and wisdom,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you swing back away from the axe, and now it is your turn, Olivia. And because they don't know you're there, any attack roll is with advantage this turn.
Right. But also my duder friend is down.
Yes.
So, is starting my Bardic Inspiration a action?
It is a bonus action. Use
Yes.
inspiration.
Okay. So it's bonus action. So I can get, are they within 30 feet of me?
Yes.
Okay, so I will run up and I will start with Bardic Inspiration and I will give I will give Grimlock a d6 to an ability check, attack roll, or save. And I will also run up and cast. If I run in and cast, they'll get attacks of opportunity on me, won't they?
That is
Okay.
not in 5th edition.
Great. I will run up and cast Cure Wounds on Kirith.
Okay.
And ding, you get 6 hit points back.
Great.
And I'm just kind of standing there playing my pan flute.
Yeah. So yeah, you rush forward. You're like playing some fight music, staring at Grimlock, rushing in. I see you kind of like sliding and putting your hand on the deep injury on
Yeah.
Kirith, and the wounds start to close, and Kirith is like gasps awake on the ground. All right, so we are back to the top of the round. Kareth has just been awakened by Olivia revealing herself and sliding in. One of the 2 wannabe orcs is very badly injured and seems focused on the still, I believe, slightly injured Kareth. And the other is focused on Grimlock, and it's Grimlock's turn.
going to take another shot at the badly injured orc and kind of another quick rabbit punch to the ribs kind of thing, and then do a back kick to the other guy, try and get his attention.
Sure. And you can decide after you know if the rabbit punch took him out whether you want to switch your focus to the other guy.
I have a quick question. Is Olivia challenging either of them in such a way that Grimlock would get flanking?
No,
Flanking
flanking does not really occur in 5th edition.
Oh.
There are certain classes. So if you were a rogue, if you have an ally within 5 feet of you, it triggers your sneak attack, but you don't need them in a flanking position.
Cool.
Is the most important.
You can spend your action to aid someone the same on an attack the same way you can, and like
By distracting them or something?
yeah,
Yeah.
but it takes your action to.
There'd be almost a moment of like slow motion eye contact between us when you're doing your angels in the outfield dive over to bring him up, and then
Yeah, a rising rabbit punch.
yeah.
Okay.
When does he have to decide if he uses the D6?
He has to decide before I tell him whether or not it's successful,
Okay.
but he can do it after he rolls the d20.
Okay, so 16.
Okay, so that is going to hit. Roll your damage.
3.
So his eyes go wide and then he collapses.
Excellent. I'll and then spin over and give him a straight back kick.
Spinning
above the
back
knee.
kick.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that is 10, so I'm going to add the d6 of, was it Bardic Inspiration?
Yes.
11.
11 total.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do not manage to connect. It's hard to target a spinning back kick. All right, Kareth?
So from the ground, I kind of like open my eyes and I see him now targeting the second one, who I believe was actually the one that hit me in the first place.
No, it was the one that's gone
Okay.
down because he felt so betrayed by you.
Okay, and am I currently being threatened by the second one?
Yes.
'Kay.
Yeah, you're all three of you are right around him. So you're threatening him and he's threatening you.
Okay, then I will use half my movement to stand up.
Yeah.
So he doesn't just get bonus or advantage on me.
Yeah.
And I will like root through my hair very quickly and pull out a living flea
Okay.
and channel through my druidic totem to cast infestation.
And what does your druidic totem look like?
It is a kind of loose leather string wrapped around my wrist and left hand, covered in tufts of animal hair and feathers and like rat teeth, very clearly from like small animals, things like pigeons and rats, and even like small dogs and cats, and
So does it start to glow a color as you cast infestation through it?
kind of a muddy brown.
Okay.
And he has to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. He has an 18.
Yeah, he succeeds.
'Kay.
So a small cloud of mites, fleas, and other parasites appear momentarily around his face, and he does not care.
Yeah. So he is now more worried about the dwarf that is dropping them left and right. So he swings at Grimlock and has a 21,
Yeah, that hits.
doing 10 points of damage.
Are you down?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Okay.
I got scared.
So, Olivia, you see him gasp in surprise, but he's still up.
Fighting is danger.
Mm-hmm.
I will, in my offhand, continue to play my flute, and as a bonus action, I will again give Grimlock a d6,
Okay.
and I will pull out my rapier for the first time ever and try to stab a thing.
Okay.
An 11 on the die plus 4 is 15.
That's going to hit. Roll your damage.
Heck yeah. 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay. So yeah, you catch him deep inside the thigh, and he does not like it.
Don't mind me. Toot toot toot.
Grimlock.
I'm actually going to try and get a little straight kick right where that hole was just made.
Okay.
So 19
19 will hit.
Nice.
for 5 damage.
And he collapses as you hit him where he's being hit and falls to the ground unconscious.
I immediately pick up my sword and double tap these guys.
Okay.
Ooh.
Not even a question, just hack at both of them until they stop moving.
Just standing there stunned for a second.
Well, and by the rules of how death saves work, it would mean that if you hit them each 2 times, they have then failed 4 death saves and they are definitely dead.
And are
then
these orcs or these are?
These are people who are hoping to, they are wearing orcish armor and weapons, but they are not orcs.
Does Kirith seem like okay in his right mind?
I am
or-
like deadly calm when I do this.
okay.
And then I clean the blood off on their cloaks or shirts or whatever and
Just slowly back, like accidentally bump into Grimlock a little bit.
Okay.
Oh,
you're the one that wanted to hunt orcs, right?
yep. Yeah, that was me. We should maybe pull them maybe into the forest or something, so it's not, immediately evident.
Good call.
Okay. So you hide the bodies in the woods.
I'll quickly give a peruse over if they have any valuables.
So on them, you find a total of 21 copper.
I'll look around and hand them each 7 copper.
Okay. Yeah, they do each have great axes and 3 javelins. They are not the best quality, but they are not terrible quality. They are better than what you have heard orcs would carry.
I'll take a couple of javelins.
Okay.
I don't think that I'm proficient with great axes. I'm assuming it's different.
Yeah,
than
great
battle
axes
axe.
are a martial weapon, and yeah, you wouldn't have proficiency with great axe. You would have with battle axe for being a dwarf. And then I believe javelins are simple weapons, so you are proficient with those.
Cool.
We could also just hide the bodies here and then potentially take these back to the town and try to sell, obviously not the bodies, but some of the weapons and stuff.
Would anyone like to buy a man who wants to be an orc's corpse?
How many javelins were there?
There were a total of 6.
I took 2.
I'll grab the other 4. Unless you want some.
After you grab 4, hold up my hand and
I'll give him 1.
thanks.
So that was
Break the head off the javelin. Have a nice little quarterstaff.
Okay.
you made a stick out. You know what? It's
Turn
good.
it into a club.
Right. Do we maybe want to pretty pooped, like exhausted,
Mm-hmm.
and you look like you could use some rest too. So should we just try to move away some, and then we can just keep picking them off from in the forest?
That risks the others coming back.
Yeah, they're gonna be looking for their
We
their
know
boys.
we know that currently there aren't many in there.
That's true. Holy.
Game question. I can only use medicine to like stabilize, right?
Yes.
Okay.
How injured does he look? Does Grimlock look?
I'm like,
Very?
yeah, very.
Could we do a short rest though?
Oh, yeah.
Because then I won't get any spells back, but this is player, not Olivia talking. But like, I won't get any spells back, but I am hoping Kirith has something in case any of us goes down. But yeah.
No, all I know how to do is summon bugs.
Yeah, that was interesting. That whole one bug turning into many bugs.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd say one on your shoulder and just try and fling it off.
Vermin. It's fine.
Yeah, it's
Hey, listen.
So who wants to hide a couple bodies and
Yep.
just like relax for an hour?
Take a breather. So Riley, the way that short rests work, I'll actually let Joey explain. He's the DM.
So a short rest takes an hour. You can spend hit dice. So you have a number of hit dice equal to your level. It becomes more difficult if you multi-class, but you roll as many hit dice as you like, and you don't have to commit to them all at once. So if, for example, when you go up a level, you would gain D8 hit points, you would roll 1d8 and add your con modifier. That's how much you recover.
oh, cool.
You get your hit dice back. You get half of them back after a long rest, and it's rounded up.
Oh, okay, cool.
So currently, you're a level 1 monk. You would get D8 plus your con mod. You can just recover that after, taking an hour-long breather.
Cool.
Instead of having to, make camp and go to bed.
And then to regain our short rests, we have to take a long rest?
No, you can take multiple short rests. You can only take one long rest per 24 hours.
Okay.
Oh,
But
okay.
we only have 1 hit die each right now, so, taking an extra short rest isn't super useful unless we have abilities that recover on a short rest.
Right.
It is
Okay.
very good for a warlock.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right, so you guys pull the bodies into the woods and then hide back in the dark trees, keeping an eye on the squat ruins of the castle ahead that seem to lay restless but unmoving in the night. The sun starts to set, and it is going to be dark by the time that you are done your rest. And I believe that that is where we will end the story for today.
Great.
As you camp in the woods.
Dun dun dun.
Stupid humans don't have dark vision.
Oh God, no! Do I have torches? I have a candle. I'm just gonna be running through this castle with a candle.
Why do I even own torches?
Oh, you didn't take the cantrip light?
No, I needed message and I think prestidigitation.
To light your candle.
No, I have vicious mockery actually, so that I have an attack cantrip.
That's also a very good call.
Cool.
You would have gotten a pack in your equipment, most likely.
Yes.
Most of those packs do include light sources.
Torches usually, yeah.
Okay. I'll double check that before next session. Woo.
We don't have to worry about we don't have to worry about dark vision. I'll just hold her hand while you go ahead.
Why do I have to go ahead? You apparently have 14 HP or some dumb shit.
Well, we're both caster classes, so
I have the same hit die as him.
Well, you did take max at first level, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
TJ
just
rolled a
dwarf
1 and
con.
kept it.
Yeah.
I assume you have 11 hit points.
Yes.
Gnarly.